And welcome back to G-Senjou no Maou. Where did we left off last time? There's a little break between the two sessions. Yeah, Tsubaki wanted Kyosuke to come over again at noon? And there supposedly was something important to talk with the father of Tsubaki. So, yeah, let's see how this is going. Okay. Turns out that what Tsubaki's father wanted to talk to me about wasn't anything important. It was probably just Tsubaki's excuse to call me out. It doesn't bother me or anything though. It's relatively normal for a girl to use this kind of tactic. Tsubaki, who was dressing up in front of the mirror, probably didn't even have a single thought of deceiving me. This is the way it should be. What? Tsubaki, where did you get that outfit?
通販だよ。最近はインターネットで何でも買えるんだね。すぐ届くし便利だよね。
Online, you know, you can buy anything through the internet these days, and they usually even have next day delivery. It's so convenient. You didn't know about this before?
興味なかったから、なんだかすごく損してた気分。
Yeah, because I had no interest before. I feel like I've been missing out. Her expression might be bright, but I get the feeling that it looked a bit haggard as well. Have you written in your diary lately?
全然。書く暇なんてここんところなかったから。
Nope, not at all. I don't have time for that. Her eyes were dull and seemed just a bit empty.
はあ、もう日記なんてやめようかな。今時ないよね、日記が趣味とか。どう思うかな。
Gee, I should give up on that. Nobody writes in a diary for fun nowadays. What do you think? Is that really how you feel? Personally, when someone says Tsubaki, I immediately jump to that diary of yours. Tsubaki wrinkled her eyebrows.
ねえお姉ちゃん。
Hey sis!
なにひろあき。
What is it, Hiroaki?
かくれんぼしよ
Let's go play hide and seek!
う。後でね。それよりこれ似合う？
Maybe later. Hey, do you think this looks nice? Tsubaki held out her new clothes for her brother to see.
ううん。
No.
あれ
Huh? Kids sure are frank.
お姉ちゃんは前に僕がいいって言った服が好きなんじゃないの？
What's wrong with the clothes that I said were pretty before?
あのパーカー？あれはもうずっと着てるじゃない？
That coat with the hood? Aren't I always wearing that old thing? Well, it looks nice. I thought it was pretty fashionable.
うん。それでお姉ちゃん僕のお友達に貧乏ってあだ名つけられた。でもそれでも好きって言ってたよ。
Yup, my friends even started calling you poor devil. But didn't you say you liked it? Oh, look how the expression changed.
どうしたのお姉ちゃん。
Is something wrong, Oni-chan? Oni-chan, not Oni-chan.
浅井くんはどう思う？
Adai-kun, what do you think? Tsubaki looked at me with pleading eyes. If I had to choose between one and the other, I'd say the new clothes are a bit more fitting.
そうだよね。
Really? They are, aren't they? There's a different air to them. That's a good thing, right? Tsubaki was so happy that her voice was shaking.
よかった。こういうの着ないと浅井くんに恥かかせちゃうもんね。
I'm so glad you like them. After all, I'm dressing like this so that I won't embarrass you, Adai-kun. You don't have to worry about that. You just told her.
ううん。だって、浅井くんの私服って高いんでしょ？街で並んで歩いてたら恥ずかしいじゃない？
Don't be silly. Aren't you always wearing really expensive clothes? Isn't it embarrassing to be seen walking beside me? No, now why would you think that? Because you told her? More or less behind the scene, but you told her? I tilted my head, trying to read Tsubaki's feelings.
何か変かな？
Is it strange to worry about things like that? No, not at all. It's very normal.
よかった。最近、ちょっと疲れてるみたいでね。思ったことすぐ言っちゃうことがあるの。変だったら言ってね。
That's a relief. I think I've been sort of tired lately, you know? I've started blabbing out what I'm thinking. If I do anything strange, you have to tell me. I nodded silently. Oh, the music is so... Ugh.
ねえ、お姉ちゃん。
Hey, sis! The ankle biter was spinning around Tsubaki's knees as usual. Ankle biter.
お父さんに遊んでもらいなさい。
Find Dad. He'll play with you.
だってお父さん引っ越しだもん。
But Dad's busy with moving. Her father has been packing since morning, apparently.
お姉ちゃんたち、これから出かけるの？
Sis and Adai-kun are going to leave soon. Tsubaki raised her voice.
どこ行くの？僕も行く。
Where are you going? I want to go too.
ダメだったら、もう。
No way! Tsubaki violently cast aside her brother's hand. Oh! For an instant, Hiroaki's expression was shocked to the point of fear.
行こう、浅井くん。
Let's go, Adai-kun! Oh, she turns into something I don't really much like. Not even giving her brother a second glance, Tsubaki hastily made for the door. I just followed her. Wow, Tsubaki turns into something. You really think it's a good idea, Kyosuke Azai, to do this with her? Oh my. Tsubaki was gasping for air with huge gulps. She didn't exactly seem to be in good condition to be going out.
うっかりこれ着てきちゃった。
I meant to change it to something else. Well, that's just because the picture was already, yeah, there. She touched the coat that she usually wears with a dissatisfied look. My excitement for our upcoming excursion dashed. I gazed over at Tsubaki. Is it okay for you to skip out on packing today? Your dad looks like he's working too hard.
いいんだよ。ここんところ私がずっとやってたし。
It's fine. I've been doing pretty much everything recently. Still, I can't believe you're finally moving. I did a lazy stretch and looked at the house's ancient exterior. Haven't you lived here all your life?
だったら、
So
Mommy.
what? Uneasy, she answered with a question. Nothing. I was just thinking that you might miss some things about this place.
あるにはあるけど。
Oh, expression changed. Yeah, some things. Her words were unclear, and her line of sight flitted about. Her dazed eyes settled on the front lawn. What is it?
よく あそこで花火したなって。
Nothing. I was just remembering all the times we played with sparklers out here in the yard. Ah.
秋になるとね、みんなでお芋焼くの。お父さんが張り切っちゃって火事になりそうだったこともあったの。
We used to roast sweet potatoes in the fall. One time, Dad went a bit overboard, almost burnt the house down.
一番下の子がね、初めてハイハイした時、縁側から落っこちちゃってさ、あの時は大騒ぎで。
When the youngest child was a baby, the first squall sent them right off the porch. Everyone was running around in circles, panicking.
それで
And then... A brilliant smile was starting to wither. Hey, Tsubaki. I slowly, gently put my hand on Tsubaki's shoulder. You can make just as many wonderful memories at your new home, you know? I saw the place. It's pretty nice. And it's close to my house too. Maybe you can invite me to your next family gathering. I've never spent much time with my family, and I have to admit that some nights I wish I could have some warm, hearty home cooking.
浅井くん。
Oh, he's quite the player, but I think it's unintentional. Tsubaki brought her hand to her shoulder and placed her fingers atop mine. First the kidnapping and now the move. It feels like you've had nothing but tragedy recently. I know that you've been under an increasing amount of stress each day, but it'll get easier from here on out. Just stay positive and focus on what's ahead of you.
浅井くんにそう言われると、なんか元気出るな。
When you say it like that, Adai-kun, it makes me feel a bit more upbeat about things. Wetness floated to Tsubaki's face, almost like she had a fever. Well then, let's go.
待って。
Wait. Suddenly Tsubaki tilted her head.
浅井くんって。
Adai-kun. Hmm?
ごめん。なんだかね、そういう話し方する時の浅井くんって、ちょっと違うなって思ったの。
Never mind. I just thought that you seemed different from usual when you say things like that. You're right. I'm different when I'm at school.
そうじゃなくて。
That's not what I meant.
なんだろう。
How should I say this? Unexpectedly, she flashed a smile.
犯人みたいな喋り方だなって思ったの。ごめんね。
I think you sound that like the kidnapper sometimes. Sorry, I realized that's bizarre. I laughed along with her. You think I'm Maou too? Don't go joining Yusami's ranks now.
はるちゃんに疑われてるの？ひどいな。浅井くんが犯人なわけないのにね。
Oh? Haru-chan suspected you at one point? That's too much. There's no way you could possibly be the culprit. Yeah, Yusami really gives me a headache.
気にしたらダメだよ。私は信じてるからね。浅井くんがいなかったら、ひろあきも帰ってこなかったかもしれないんだし。
You shouldn't worry about it. I believe you, Adai-kun. If it wasn't for you, there's a chance that Hiroaki wouldn't be with us now. I didn't do anything all that incredible. Anyway, it's time that we get going.
そうだね。寒いしね。
Right, it's too cold to be standing around. With matching smiles, we left Tsubaki's home. Are you happy with it?
化粧品なんて初めて買ったよ。
What? Yeah, this is the first time I've ever bought makeup. That's such a hard thing for me to digest, more or less. Because my stand on makeup is... I don't know... You know, maybe I only see the extremes of makeup most of the time. So, either the makeup is so extreme, it's just like pastry all over your face, and most girls start to look plastic and not really human-like. So they don't look natural most of the case anymore, at least in my point of view. Yeah, it's actually a really hard topic, more or less. I mean, I personally like girls who who wants to shine with her natural beauty, and not the beauty they can only express by putting on tons of makeup on their faces. I mean, so there's nothing against light makeup here and there to not shine so much on the forehead and whatever, or to cover up some unnecessarily wet things that pop up on your head, which I sometimes do, more or less. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But Tsubaki, I mean, if this is Tsubaki, how she looks like without makeup, why would she need makeup in the first place? It's just so redundant. Whatever. Now you're one step closer to the other girls in our class. Ugh.
みんなやってるもんね。
Yeah, everyone's using it. And when everyone's doing it, I should do it too, because I have no self-personality at all. I mean, no own personality at all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not one for heavy makeup either, but I would have at least expected you to cover up the dark circles under your eyes.
ごめんね、そういうの疎くて。
Sorry, I'm just not very familiar with these things. Okay, so Kyosuke is also not for over-the-top makeup, and only to cover up some things that you don't want on your face. We walked away from the crowd.
あ、ごめん、電話。
Ah, sorry, phone. Tsubaki's newly bought cell gets a call pretty often.
うん、わかんないよ。うん。
Yeah, how am I supposed to know? Sure. Covering her mouth with her hands and speaking in a low voice, Tsubaki seems very unhappy. What's up?
またうちからお母さんのバッグ知らないかって。そんなの私が知るわけないのに。
It was another call from home. They want to know where Mom's handbag is. How the heck am I supposed to know these things?
まったく、私がいないと何にもできないんだから。
Geesh, they can't do a thing without me. Are you going home?
ううん、まだ平気だよ。
No, I'm okay. Tsubaki shook her head immediately.
おや、浅井さんじゃないですか？
Oh, is that you, Adai-san? Hearing Yusami's voice approach from behind, I turned around.
おやおや、椿も一緒ですか？これはこれは。
Oh, Tsubaki is here too? Would you look at that?
はるちゃん、どうしたの？
What is it, Haru-chan? Why am I bumping into you so much? Are you stalking me?
そんないきなり二人して質問してこなくても。自分はバイトの帰りにちょっと駅に寄ってただけです。
Not to the extent that the two of you have to team up and interrogate me. My shift just ended, so I'm on my way to the station. The station? Are you going somewhere?
いえいえ、証拠でもないかなと。
Nah, I was thinking I might come across some evidence. Evidence? This girl sure knows how to pique my interest, whether she knows she's doing it or not.
あ、いえいえ、デート中に話すようなことでもありませんです。はい。
Ah, no, this isn't something I should say on your day. Well, there was something creeping up on me. Ah, no. This is something I should say on your... This isn't something I should say on your date.
浅井くん、行こう。
Adai-kun, shall we go? Just a minute, Yusami, Just a minute. Yusami, have you figured out who the kidnapper is?
いいえ、全く。
Not in the slightest. She stated that without changing her expression in the least. Didn't you say that you had something to tell me yesterday?
え、言いましたっけ？
Oh, I said that. You...
ああ、なんか口走りましたね、自分。
Ah, looks like I had a slip of the tongue. Just come out and say it already. Yusami spoke casually with a perfect poker face.
はい、では言います。あなたが魔王です、浅井さん。
Alright, fine. You are Maou, Adai-san. She actually said it. Her words were utterly insane. The white side of my face stiffened.
あなたは前もって駅のコインロッカーの鍵を複製しておいたんです。
You made a duplicate of the coin locker key beforehand. What did you say?
あの身代金をめぐる追走劇の中で、駅のコインロッカーに身代金が収められたことがありました。その時、私はあなたに不審な人物が来ないかどうか見張っておいてほしいと頼みましたね。
There was a time during the ransom's exchange where the briefcase was put into an automatic coin locker. During that period, I asked you to stay there and keep an eye out for suspicious people. Did I not? Ah, right. Wasn't Tsubaki running around the streets with the key? So, and this is what I said. Since this happened, since the briefcase was changed out and the money was lost. This is one of the first things I said which could be the case, or what was the case, and she picked finally up on it. She finally picked up on it. Yusami nodded and continued.
あなたは前もって用意しておいたコインロッカーの鍵を使い、ようようと身代金の株券を手に入れたんです。
You used your copy of the key to waltz right in there and take the ransom. Stop joking around. Copy the key? Me? When?
あなたは事件当日、仕事があると言って行方をくらましていましたよね。鍵の複製なんて、その辺のお店で30分もあればやってもらえます。
Didn't you say you had something urgent to do that day? If you wanted to copy the key, you could have done it in half an hour at a nearby locksmith. I have no memory of doing that.
いや、盲点を突かれました。トリックそのものは単純ですが、まさか信用していた浅井さんこそが犯人だったなんて。
You really hit me in a blind spot there. The trick itself was simple, yes, but I never would have thought that the kidnapper was someone I trusted so thoroughly. I could say nothing against that. Even though I'm definitely not the culprit, in a certain sense, I couldn't think of anything at the moment to check Yusami's logic.
はるちゃん、もういいよ。事件のことはもうはるちゃんには関係ないでしょ。
Haru-chan, that's enough. Don't you realize this has nothing to do with you? Looks like Tsubaki is still on my side.
なんか、やだよ、はるちゃん。いろいろ手伝ってくれたのはわかるけど、結局、はるちゃんは何も解決してくれなかったじゃない？
I don't like this, Haru-chan. I know you were only helping us out, but in the end, nothing was solved. Yusami's poker face still stood strong.
せっかく、こうして嫌なことを忘れようとして遊んでるのに。
Why do you have to bring this up now? I'm out having fun, so I can't forget about that stuff. Exactly. Let's get out of here. I urged Tsubaki while shaking my head slightly. I'm feeling dizzy. Hey, Yusami, I forget about what you said just now.
そうっすか。ありがとうございます。では最後に一つだけ。
Really? I appreciate it. Still, I have one last thing to say.
はるちゃん。もし私の言ったことに心当たりがあるのなら、すぐに自首してください。警察はすぐに証拠を挙げるでしょう。近場の鍵屋さんを徹底的に洗うでしょうし、駅には監視カメラもあるんです。
If what I said makes sense, please give yourself up immediately. The police will find the evidence. They'll also come through the list of nearby locksmiths and watch the security videos from the station. Those police you mentioned, have they even made a move yet?
ええ。ですから、残念で仕方がないんです。
No, I can barely contain my chagrin. Then there's nothing to discuss here. What do you mean by chagrin? What's chagrin? Chagrin. There we go. I took Tsubaki's hand.
じゃあね、はるちゃん。
Bye, Haru-chan. Yusami nodded slightly and left.
気にしないでね、浅井くん。
Don't mind her, Adai-kun. Yusami hasn't given it up yet? Still, as long as the police aren't informed, everything will be fine. What exactly will be fine? I pondered the thought deeply. Nah, I'm overthinking things. I just don't want the police to find out about the connections between the Adai Corporation and the Sova Alliance. I can't possibly be Maou. Actually, that reminds me. I haven't gone to Dr. Akimoto's clinic lately.
どうしたの？大丈夫。私はたとえ浅井くんが魔王でもいいよ。
What is it? Don't worry about it, Adai-kun. Even if you were Maou, I wouldn't mind. That's why I paused there for a second and didn't read everything out. What? You wouldn't mind? You wouldn't mind that your family lost their own fortune, the family lost their house, the place where they were living their whole life, and you would be just fine with it? This is insane on so many levels. I mean, how? How could she be so contempt about it? And I'm really just fumbling here with my little recording thing, which you probably can't see anyway. But there's something that's bothering me anyway with it. So I might just get over with it. But seriously, she wouldn't mind? I can hardly believe that. Actually, I could, but it would be very, very naive. That was probably a joke, but I can't bring myself to laugh.
さあ、ご飯食べに行こう。
Say, ready to go eat? She held out her hand again. Tsubaki is very obedient to me. I should shake all this off and just try to enjoy being with her. That was so much fun! She held out her arms and stretched lazily. The Tsubaki from before definitely wouldn't do something like that. Like this. We were out for an entire day. Are you satisfied?
ご飯も美味しかった。
Yeah, and the dinner was delicious. Isn't it wonderful to have money? Tsubaki nodded grandly.
なんか見聞が広がるよね。今までそういうの興味なかったけど、お金ってとっても大事だね。
I'm learning so much about the world. I was never interested in these things before, but it looks like money really is important. Depending on how you use it, money can buy you anything.
どんなものでも？例えば？
Anything? Like what? Like your heart. What? I said this half joking.
やだな。それにはお金なんていらないよ。
What? Come on, you don't need money for that, do you? Sorry, that was just a bad joke. I guess I have reputation for putting my foot in my mouth. We laughed and chatted in the empty park for quite some time. It was kind of fun. If I were a normal human and we continued to do stuff like this, I might actually fall in love with Tsubaki. But beyond the fun, there's an air of sadness hanging around us. I'm always reluctant to part with her for some reason.
ねえ、浅井くん。明日は？
Hey, Adai-kun, what are you up to tomorrow? Oh, are you inviting me again? Oh, she's really clingy.
ダメかな。
Well, not that there's something wrong with it. I would love to have that it would be normally I'm the one which wants to spend as much time as possible. So, I can't really judge upon that. Yeah, there's something... Yeah, is there something wrong with that? I'm busy tomorrow.
浅井くんってお父さんのお仕事を手伝ってるんだよね。それで忙しいんだよね。どんな仕事なのかな？
You help your father work, right? Is it tough? What kind of tasks does he have you do? Tsubaki assailed me with non-stop questions. Are you interested? Totally! I thought it over for a while. Like any business, my work could be facilitated by various things. One of those is a secretary, though I guess that makes me sound a bit self-important. I just want an assistant or something. I could use someone to help me with some small odd jobs, such as organizing my files or dealing with the bills and email. Can't be someone from the Adai Corporation. Even if they are capable, they won't obey me. The loyalty they've sworn is to Gonsu, not me. In the near future, I need my own organization. From that perspective, Tsubaki is a perfect start. Oh god, really? Women are generally kept on the down low in the underground, but they still have their uses. Oh god, he's going that low. He's actually going that low. Do you want to try and work with me a little tomorrow?
どういう意味？
Huh? What do you mean? I want you to help me for a bit. A confused look surfaced on Tsubaki's face.
私なんかでいいのかな？
Can a person like me really be of any use? Definitely. Don't worry about it. You're an honest, hard worker. You'll be fine.
本当？嬉しいな。でも、びっくりだな。
Really? I'm so happy. But this is so unexpected. Her breath coming out in excited gasps were dyed white by the cold. Of course, you can't tell anyone. Tsubaki's eyes shone with excitement, earnestly listening to my every word.
絶対言わないよ。約束するよ。
I won't tell a soul. I promise. Then I'll contact you tomorrow.
必ず出るようにするよ。
I'll definitely be waiting for your call. You definitely better. Tsubaki's expression tightened when I emphasized my expectations. I'm going to take a day off from school tomorrow, but you'll still be attending. Can you take calls when classes are in session? Eh? She seems to be uneasy. You know how I'm often absent from school? Sometimes I get splitting headaches and have to stay in bed, but most of the time it's because of the company.
会社？お仕事のことだね。
Company? Are you talking about your job? Do you understand? To me, school is a place of relaxation. I lied when I said that I was just helping out my father. The truth is, the company is my main occupation.
知らなかった。すごい人だなって思ってたけど、そうなんだ。
I knew you were an amazing person and all, but I didn't know that, so that's how it is. So if a call comes, be sure to take it immediately. That's how the business world works. I stepped closer to her. Can you promise me this much? Tsubaki held her breath.
悪いことしてるわけじゃないよね。
This isn't something bad, is it? Of course not. It's not like we're doing anything illegal. There's nothing to worry about. Sometimes we'll step into a gray area bordering on criminal activity, but she doesn't need to know that right now. Hesitation. But since we've made it this far, I can't let her escape. This is the first time I've told anyone about this. You are the first to know, Tsubaki. I started with a small voice, and slowly. I'm only a kid after all. No one would believe that I'm doing an adult's job, and no one understands how hard it is for me. I slowly accelerated and inserted emotion. But you're different, Tsubaki. Fate, acting through that kidnapping strategy, has allowed us to understand each other so well. We have such a good relationship, and, well... I increased my volume. These past few days have been so amazing, to be honest. I've never trusted anyone, but for some reason, it's so easy to tell you the truth. You're the only one I can tell my secrets, Tsubaki. I made sure to keep saying her name. This is so mean! He's picking onto her feelings. He's latching onto that like a beast. And oh, this is so mean. He does know very well that Tsubaki loves him and can almost not deny him anything. Oh, this is so evil. Tsubaki's eyes were wide open as breath after breath washed from her lips. I didn't know you thought of me that way.
わかった。私も明日学園休んで電話待ってる。
Wait, you were not supposed to skip school? Alright, I understand. I'll skip school tomorrow and wait for your call. That's a good girl. The work isn't particularly pressing. The issue is whether or not she can properly follow my directions. Well then, see you tomorrow.
おやすみ。
Yeah, good night. But she's not supposed to skip school. I thought she'd have to attend. Come on, you can't keep her out of school. She is not a multi-millionaire company man business. She doesn't have so much money. She can't risk to not learn or at least have a proper education. But honestly, as soon as you are able to read and do basic mathematics, there's not really much school can teach you anymore. Well, maybe English. English is a good thing. I really appreciate that I had English and that I had to learn it. Initially, I really didn't like English, but I grew fond of it, and it gave me a deeper connection to games and how flawed most translation from English to German is, and that was when I accelerated my own desire to become better in English and to learn the language, and I really try every day to improve myself. I try to get really fluent, and I try that even my mind starts to think in English most of the time. I know I'm still stuttering and I'm still stumbling a lot, and I think that's normal. It is, because it's not my native. I've spoke English for over 26 years. I mean German for over for over 20 years now, and I started learning English since I am 14 maybe, and there were only the basics and all. I think I was going a long way to be where I am now, and I think it's not that bad. But anyway, this is all beside the point. Just let's go on with this. We waved goodbye. I turned my head around, only to see that Tsubaki was still frozen in place. And then a small shadow appeared.
お姉ち
It was her brother.
ゃんひろあき何してるの
Hiroaki, what are you doing?
お姉ちゃん迎えに来たんだよ
I'm here to walk you home, sis. I watched their conversation from afar.
まさかまた一人で
Don't tell me. By yourself again?
お父さんももうすぐ来るよ
Dad's going to be here soon.
どうしてお父さんと一緒に来ないの
Why? Why didn't you wait for him? Tsubaki screamed again, this time with all her strength.
お姉ちゃん言ったよねもう一人で勝手に出歩いちゃダメだって
Didn't your sis tell you already? Don't walk around by yourself.
ごめんでもお姉ちゃん帰ってくるって言って帰ってこなかったから
Sorry, but you said that you'd be back and it's so late and you still weren't home, so... Tsubaki must have told her family when she'd be back doing one of her frequent phone calls.
だから何回同じこと言わせるの
But didn't I say it over and over again? Tsubaki stooped down, continuing to talk with her brother. It must be really difficult to take care of that boy. It's not like I don't understand how Tsubaki feels.
いい加減にして
Why won't you stop this already?
何が
What do you mean? On a rural evening, sound travels far, and I can hear even very small voices.
心配してるのひろあきがまた同じ目に遭うんじゃないかってどうしてわからないかな
I'm worried about you. What if something happens again? Why don't you get it?
大丈夫だよ僕は大丈夫だって一人で保育園から帰ってこれるよ一人でお姉ちゃん迎えに来たよ
It's fine. I'm okay. I can go to kindergarten by myself. I can come walk you home. It's like this kid doesn't listen at all. Tsubaki's quiet voice is echoing around. It's not good to eavesdrop. I should get going. It's not like I don't care, but I can't do anything about others' family affairs. As I left, I heard Tsubaki say something.
そうならもう私も気にしないから
Really? Then I won't worry about you anymore. Oh God. That line brought with it the darkest and most depressed tone I had heard yet from Tsubaki. Alright, yeah, this was quite the ending, I guess. Well, I'm going to leave this episode here. This was quite tense, and we learned quite a lot about Tsubaki's new personality and that she now experienced what it means to be fun and stuff like that. And wow, she turned from a total family sister girl into something that isn't her anymore. Not, at least she lost a lot of herself. She really lost a lot of herself. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode in your own way, because the part enjoy does not really fit what happened in this episode so far. But in any case, if you did, I really appreciate a like, and yeah, I will hopefully see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.